Ash, great to see you. We're meeting to speak about the new Quoter API endpoints for templates and quotes. Can you give me a little background about why, or at first, I guess, what is this exactly? Is probably a great place to start.
Yeah, for sure. So, Quoter is a quoting platform that obviously helps MSPs go from quote to cash as efficiently as possible. And so, what we've seen over the years is the MSP, the complexity of their quoting process has expanded as they're
Mm.
using more tools and what they're selling becomes more nuanced. And so, we've done a lot of things at Quoter to try and help speed up that process. We have line items that can come from your PSA or CRM automatically when you create a quote. We have items coming from distributors automatically when you create a quote. But there still are these edge cases where you're using the ERP system or another tool that we don't have a native integration with, or you've got this complicated Excel sheet or Google sheet where you're doing all this manipulation work just to figure out, your margins and how you can actually quote something. And so we've had requests over the years to actually build quotes automatically through an API.
Wow.
And what got us sort of moving on this is now being connected in with the ScalePad ecosystem and Lifecycle Manager, obviously wanting to be able to create quotes for initiatives. And so we bit the bullet, invested the time and the effort, and now we have our first version of our draft quotes API released, which will allow partners to do exactly that. They can push in line items from any external system and automatically have that draft quote created. And so it just really helps with that very first part of the process. You need to get those line items onto a quote so you can send that off to a prospect or a partner.
That makes perfect sense. So I understand that this is kind of version 0.1. They're kind of starting at an early stage, and some of the other pieces of this are coming down the road. I guess yeah, am I right on that one, or am I a little off base?
Absolutely. No, that's dead on. So this is the first version of this that can actually be used. So we have made it available. It's in our API documentation. Partners or prospects can reach out to us to get the access to that link and just review the current constraints. But it does have a few pieces to it. So with this, we've added a template lookup, so you can go and list out all the templates after you've authenticated through the through the API. And that will tell you the available templates for that specific account. And then you use that template ID to tell Quoter, well, what should the look of this quote be? What background image, what other information is going to pull through about, pre-formatted information for this quote. And then you can push into line items. You can actually create and look up a user or a person you're creating the quote for as well. And so we've got all the essential steps to create that quote. But it is version 1. We're not going all the way and publishing that quote. We're not even doing things like necessarily supporting all the functionality that's on the template currently, because there's a lot there. You can
Right.
have attachments, PDF attachments to your quote. You can have custom fields that are pulling in from the quote. You can have all kinds of highly configured items automatically showing up on your template that then get created on the quote as well. So not all of that is currently supported, and that's why it's considered version 1, but it's fully functional and it does solve a lot of the use cases that I talked about earlier.
That sounds like we're solving a lot of problems for MSPs right with this, even at this early stage.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's enough for LM to start working with it and for us to make that connection ideally in late Q1. Well, really, we're talking Q2 for that.
Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, I mean, so the building initiatives and lifecycle manager that include quotes is kind of like a phase two, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's right. So how the draft quotes API works currently is you have to go through those steps. Like I mentioned, you have to do the template lookup, choose your template. You have to create a person or check if Quoter already has a person with the information you need for that quote. Then you push in the payload that includes your line items. The draft quote is created, and what you get back is a link to that draft quote. So in any external system, you'll actually have that URL generated. You can click on it right from there. Assuming you're already logged into Quoter, you'll be taken to Quoter and be able to update that draft quote immediately and make any changes you want, publish it, send it off to the prospect or partner, and you're away to the races.
Oh, that's awesome. And so, as far as I can understand from reading this, it's pretty easy to actually get this from Quarter. Like, they don't have to make a request; they can actually just go and find the basically just generate the API key right from Quarter as long as they're already a partner. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, yeah. No, there's nothing you need to really do as far as working with our team on this. The access to the API keys area, which is OAuth 2, the naming is a bit funny, but that will allow you to create your client secret and your client ID, and then you'll authenticate through the API with those. And then, like you say, yeah, you hit those endpoints, and you've got your draft close created.
And my understanding too that this is not an add-on. This is included as part of Quarter, and it's like any user of Quarter can actually take advantage of it, right?
Absolutely, Peter. Yeah, that's right. So this isn't something you have to pay for. Every single one of our over 1,500 partners gets access to this right away, and we hope that you'll see benefit with this very first version. We've heard from a number of partners already that are exploring it and starting to use it. So we think we're moving in the right direction, and we're excited for the future of this built out as well.
That's awesome, Ash. Well, hey, thank you very much for giving these details. And yeah, ScalePad partners, Quarter partners, please take a look at this. And I think you're going to go and see a ton of value from this right from the get-go. Appreciate that. Thanks for your time, Ash.
Yeah, thanks for your time, Peter.